James, the son of a baron, could claim 2 girlfriends in his young, privileged life.
The first was Carol, his half-fourth cousin. Nothing wrong with that. The second was a pretty girl named Ida, who drowned in a lake. He hadn't loved either of them. He realized that now, because he knew true love for the girl he wanted to be his third and final girlfriend.
Kate.
Kate was the daughter of his neighbor's gardener and a real beauty. She was also smart. She carried a tiny notebook and pencil, scribbling notes and solving minor neighborhood crimes like the case of Mrs. Wilson's lost tabby cat. It had been trapped in a well. And the case of the sausage thief. It had been a stray dog.
Kate would make a wonderful girlfriend. There was only one problem. She didn't even know James existed. But he was a crafty child. He planned to win Kate's affection through her need to solve a good mystery.
You see, he would create a crime, a case involving himself, that she wouldn't be able to resist. Not murder, but something else exciting. Perhaps the case of the disappearing doll heads. He could hide them under his brother's bed. Or the case of the attic ghost. His sister could dress in white and groan. But neither seemed quite right. One day, James was in the kitchen eating chocolate cake when he discovered the perfect case. The maid stood on a small ladder, placing bottles on a high shelf. The wall had nothing else on it, which was odd for the kitchen. "What are those?" he asked cook, pointing up. "Nothing for you to handle, young man," she said sternly. "What's in those bottles may clean a house, but may also kill a child."
That was it. The case of the attempted poisoning of the baron's son. That sounded much more thrilling than some headless dolls or an old raggedy ghost. James, though crafty, didn't have the forethought to realize someone would be falsely arrested and possibly hung for this so-called crime. He did, however, have just enough sense to research the bottles on the shelf to ensure he didn't drink anything that would cause agonizing death. Agonizing death.
For a week, every night, several hours before dawn, he put his own tiny notebook and pencil in his pocket and climbed a tall stool to write down the names on the bottles. Cook must have hidden the latter. The next day, after lessons, he would search the family's encyclopedias for information on each substance. Some were quite nasty, like arsenic, which poisoned rats, or lye, which was used to clean clogged drains. Some only caused illness if ingested. In the end, he decided on a light dose of boracic acid. Some vomiting, a bit of abdominal pain, then he'd recover and hire Kate to solve the crime. On a Sunday night, again a few hours before dawn, James climbed the tall stool and reached for the correct bottle. He had almost touched it when he heard 2 maids laughing down the hall. Not wanting to be discovered, he snatched the bottle and scampered down the stool and crept upstairs to his room without encountering the maids or another person.
That was lucky, James said with a laugh. He uncorked the bottle, said, "For Kate," and took a careless swig of it. The second the liquid touched his throat, he realized he'd taken lye by mistake, and that Kate would never be his girlfriend because he would be dead. Horribly, horribly dead. The end. Ow. cat. That's my chair. You want to read a story? You want to read about James? No, I'm sorry. I need this chair. Oh, he hated it. I'm sorry. I'm meanie pants, aren't I?